Oh, hey family. I've been looking at a lot of these videos on TikTok and looking at how the National Guards and the federal agents, how they just basically attacking people. Um, I think Trump wanted this to happen the way it is going because that's his way of trying to, excuse me, control the people. And that's not the proper way to go about doing stuff. Excuse me. I could see if they coming in with like solutions to whatever issues we may be having, um, community problems, you know what I mean? Housing issue, because he did go after the homeless population too. So mainly, and I don't really care how a lot of you think and how you feel. But when he made the statement out his mouth, the black inner city poor communities, y'all know what that meant. He targeted the black people. Then he targeted the homeless people. And I cannot, and I'm not trying to really figure it out because we all have differences of opinion, stuff like that, right? I cannot understand how you can agree with that. Only because I'm a homeless advocate and you have people that have jobs or had jobs and say like they lost it or they fell on hard times. And some of those are out on the streets in tents. Can you imagine you living in your own place and then all of a sudden you in a tent and that tent outside, right? I'm talking about outside in the weather like this. And you out there, what, sleeping on a sleeping bag or sleeping on the ground, and you trying to be as comfortable as you can, as if you was in a house. Some of them are out there like that, because I'm telling you, I done dealt with homeless encampments and stuff. So some of them are out like that. And when you see somebody, I'm gonna say that seem like they full of class. You know what I mean? Well rounded, and you can tell, but they're out on the streets because they fell on hard times. They might have had a decent job, you know, like a white collar job, and for whatever reason, they either got fired or they lost the job and they out. And you can tell that this is not the type of lifestyle for you. You know what I mean? But that's where things led to. So everybody on the streets is not on the streets because they personally choose to be homeless. And when you got a person that's already beaten down inside, then you're gonna have the National Guard and you're gonna have the police department and you're gonna have them, what little they have, you're gonna turn around and just throw it away. So you know what a lot of them gonna do if they don't get into like temporary housing, stuff like that, or permanent housing. They gonna go and make camp somewhere else. He's not stopping nothing. He's slowing a lot of stuff down. He putting a halt to certain things, but he's not stopping everything because now you got people. If they don't find nowhere to go, now you threaten them, you're going to lock them up. And that's a law that was passed. Trump ain't got nothing to do with that one. I already know, because that was sent to me by the Supreme Court. Trump just using it for his advantage. He wants y'all to think he decided, he created this. I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired because my thing is, if we vote you in, we look for you to have our best interests. And if y'all feel like making America great again with the chaos and confusion that's following this man, that's not making America great again. That is not. That's a bunch of chaos and confusion that's going on. Now, I know everybody ain't gonna like what he do. I already know all that. But you don't. It's just too much chaos and confusion that's followed Trump. Too much. Too much. And I can't see how a lot of y'all find pleasure or glory in that. I don't. It's just too freaking much. I mean, I look back over the years with the presidents and stuff. I can't even name another president that a lot of bull crap like this followed them. Then you got a guy that accused of raping 14-year-olds, And I'm going to tell you all this. Those pictures that we seen, I remember them back from the younger days. I remember all that. So y'all can sit back and go, and all that. No. If you haven't followed this man throughout the years, and I'm 63. So a lot of that is true. It is what it is. And I got 4 daughters. If I find myself looking at my daughters in an inappropriate way, I'm going to question myself. What the wiggle wrong with you, man? I done changed their pampers, wiped them and, they in the tub and cleaned them. And, when they first started their monthly, I was there when they, the boobs. And I can guarantee you, this man have never had a connection with his daughter like that. I can guarantee you. Because for him to say what he said out his mouth about his daughter, and she's sitting right there, and I know that girl felt some kind of way. Y'all can say what you want. And she was all right with that. Yes. And I'm going to tell you this too. Sometimes when you hear certain things, read between the lines. All right? Don't play dumb. Read between the lines. I would not be surprised if this young lady come out later saying some stuff. I would not be surprised. And I could see y'all now bad mouthing her. Oh, she lying on her father. That's the news and all. I guarantee you a lot of y'all be glad to take y'all daughters to meet him. That's the president of the United States. I'll be right back. thank y'all. Now, keep in mind, I'm not in DC. I'm right here in Baltimore City. And DC is real close, right? And I'm going to just say so far, I commend our black young men for not showing out, right? Now, they might have to some degree, I haven't read it yet, but I am proud of them, you know. And that was one of my biggest fears is when you come for us like that, and time is not like it was back in the days, a lot of them are basically carrying those things themselves. I done seen some of them. Y'all done seen them with it. And I'm not just talking about DC, I'm talking about the pew-pews, but I'm talking about what the soldiers are carrying. And that's the thing that kind of scared me, is them coming up against them. Because you got to understand, they're coming into their space of where they at. And in their minds, and I'm going back to the old days, when you come into our community and you try to take over our community, y'all know where we came from. So that's what I'm looking at with our young men. And I'm like, please don't do it. You know, because you got to understand, you got that criminal mindset. And my thing is, please don't do it. Don't come up against it. Because what's going to happen, y'all know what's going to happen. And I'm just kind of playing a little bit with words because of TikTok, y'all. But other than that, I just pray to God. Because one, when you come in to other people's areas and you trying to dominate, control them, and tell them what to do, and that's what Trump want, they'll retaliate. And Trump doing it for a reason. But guess what? They not just coming for the black people. Look at some of them videos. Look at some of them videos. And that's the way a dictator would want, is to control the people, dominate the people. And he said it out his mouth. He said when he got voted in, well, when he got it voted in, he said he's going to play a dictator that one time. If y'all look at what most countries, right, their dictators will do little stuff like this because this their form of learning to, you gotta humble the people. You gotta humble the people. You gotta put fear in the people. Somebody had a video, right? And on that video, it was like the streets was clear. They was like, I ain't used to this. It was like a desert. Now, when I went out, because I had to go get my medicine, right? When I went to the pharmacy to get my medicine, the streets was clear. I'm like, what in the world? It was like, it felt so abandoned, you get me? And I'm like, and mind you, I get my medication out in the county. I live in the more conservative areas, right? So a lot of that is not happening here. That's why I go back to help our people. And I have programs that we can get them into. Now, I'm going to say this because it's an organization here, Time Organization, right? And they, if I'm not mistaken, they have them hotels downtown. And they just gave them 2.9 million to run them hotels. So my thing is to connect with time, because if it's more like a shelter, it's like a shelter, right? And I want to know, do they have like programs like mine? Because a lot of people, right? And I'm talking about our homeless people, even though they in a temporary situation like that hotel, they want their own place. They want their own apartment. Some of them will stay there basically the rest of their lives if that's how it's set up for them. But some of them don't want that. They want to get into housing, their own house with their family, where their family can enjoy themselves. So those are the ones basically that I would love to work with. Now, if you got them in there and you don't have no mental health part going on in there, they're going to continue acting and behaving the way they are with that ghetto mentality. That's why you have to bring a program in to help them change their old ways of thinking, help them change that negative behavior, that ghetto mentality that a lot of people like to down them and talk about them, you know, because of the way they acting and the way they are presented with stuff. Now, it's something else that I wanted to talk about, because I'm looking at what Trump is doing too. And when he targeted mainly the black community. And for a lot of y'all that might not understand, if you don't educate our children, mainly our young men, if you do not educate our children, the young men, they will, not all, okay, but most will become criminals. And it starts out young. So what I did, which I'm looking at Ben Crump, and not just Ben Crump, it's a lot of them. And they talk about the school to prison pipeline. The school to prison pipeline. And this is basically targeted for the poor black communities, right? Now, it talks about a systematic pattern pushing students, particularly those from marginalized groups. Now, I just wrote that down, but I copied a lot of it because it tells you what they're doing. And when I say systematic, it's just like gentrification. For a lot of y'all that don't understand what gentrification is, when you have businesses, developers coming into poor communities, developing these $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 houses, when you got people that's making under $40,000 a year, they can't afford them. They cannot afford them. So what they're doing is slowly pushing them out. So when I talk with people, I ask them this right here, because they're running them out the inner city. So I say, well, where they're going? Oh no, I know you don't. So in certain inner cities, when you have the unalive rate, the pew rate, that's a little higher. The goal is set up for them to take each other down. That's less people you got to place. And it's by design. Now, go look at, because I do clips, right? 1 minute clips. Look at my stuff. And when you look at my stuff, you'll see I'm starting to post a lot of the work. Now, 2 years ago, a lot of the work that I do around with people, I'm not by myself, in Baltimore City, right? I'm talking about human rights advocates, community activists, community leaders. The goal is whatever, when your community is like falling apart, you have people in that community that comes out and they talk with their community leader, right? They talk with them and they talk about what they can do, or they looking for solutions on what they can do to slow a lot of this stuff down. Now, a lot of them, please keep in mind, they're their children, they're their nieces, they're their nephews, they're their grandkids. But it's like the message from them, the parent, the uncles and stuff like that, is not getting across. I already know that. So sometimes you have to let somebody like myself address those issues y'all talking about when your own children don't want to hear it from you, because they already know that you are applying the morals, the value, the principles. You doing what you're supposed to do. But then they tend to, when they outside with their buddies, they do things a little bit different. And y'all know that. It's part of the peer pressure. It's part of wanting to be a part of. Y'all understand all of that. So it's like your hands are tied. You like, I ain't gonna be bothered with this no matter. And that's truly, truly, do not get it wrong. Understandable. But that's why, and I gotta do this because it's old school, y'all. That's why the village has to come back together. So when you dealing with somebody, like I'm gonna say one of your children, right? If it's a grandkid, something like that, right? You try to get 10 of your community people together and y'all approach that issue together. Because see, once you come in a crowd like that to address whatever issues, what happens, you're messing with this. And if they have that wall built up, like that tough thing like this, what tends to happen when you come with a group, it tends to melt down. They're going to ball up. They're going to go up. But number one, when you make them feel like you really care for them and you want them to do the right thing, it got to be a group. It got to be a group, because you got to break that wall down. You got to break that wall. I done sponsored a lot of men and women throughout my years. And I'm going to tell y'all this too. The reason why some people do what they do, you got to understand, is most likely some childhood issues that they're dealing with, which causing them to be destructive in the here and now. So you got to get with them to find out what went on in their life. Because some of them, and I'm going to tell y'all this, some of your children came to you and they told you how Uncle Tom and Uncle this and Uncle that and Aunt this and Aunt that was doing certain things. And y'all did this. I'll go sit your butt down because you didn't want to believe it. Or they came to you and they told you, Mom, their stepfather, this and that. But catch it, because I can't say to certain things for TikTok. Y'all ignored it. That was one of the things with my girls. I watch who I allow around my girls. I ain't play that. Now, keep in mind, even though I was a very overprotective dad and their mother too. Still, sometimes when you allow your kids in certain places, certain things might happen that slip through you. But for us, and when I say us, I'm talking about my wife and myself, we didn't trust. Like, I'm talking about family. And I'm not saying they was like that now, but you never know who might do certain things that you think that they wouldn't even do that. So we was well protective, overprotective with my girls. Then what I had to do, like if my girls right now, if they want to come and talk to daddy about anything, y'all know y'all welcome. Y'all know y'all welcome. And if you choose not to come and talk with daddy because you don't want to share stuff with daddy, that's okay too. You can stay over there and do what you do and live your life, because I got peace of mind. But and I'm talking about my nieces, my nephews, all of y'all that I raised. Y'all know Uncle Steve, daddy here. And I'm going to tell y'all this. Y'all see this little bit of gray hair for somebody that's 63? Whatever y'all going through, keep it over there, because y'all ain't going to put all this damn gray hair on my head. Long as y'all doing what you're doing, And sometimes I have to look at myself and say, Steve, y'all did a good job in raising them. Most of them live in the counties. They doing great with their children and everything. And I'm really proud of that. I'm proud. So guess what? When I look back at that, I did my job. And I understand now. Me and somebody was talking about this stuff. But then once you get a little bit older, it's like, don't nobody want to call you no more. They don't want to be bothered with you. I'm like, you know what? Me and my brother was talking about that too. I said, Abdul not being smart. Because y'all know we used to hear a lot about that. They putting people in nursing homes, the family members, and they not going to visit them and all that. Like they didn't forgot who they were or all that. I don't know why, I don't know what happened. But I tell you what, I was telling my brother, I said, this is actually what's happening. You said me what? I'm 63. He's about 9 years older than me, between 9 and 8. So he had called me telling me, yeah, because nobody call and check on me this and that. I said, I know. I understand. But let them need a bunch of money. I'm telling you, see, I said a bunch. Because they might fall short somewhere and they need your help. And you like, huh? Who's you? I'm like, go with the flow, bro. I mean, it's that we getting older and we did our job and don't feel bad. You know, try not to, because sometimes I'll be like, what the heck is going on? But then when I look at it and they living a wonderful life. And you know, a lot of times the only time your family call you is when somebody passed, transformed and stuff like that, right? Oh, that's the only time we come together. And then be like, oh, I love you, I miss you. When everything over with, a week or two go by, it's back there again. But I'm gonna tell y'all personally, for me, for the life that me, my brothers and us lived, when I look back at, it's like once I got clean, it's like that mold was broke towards the other family members. It's like God broke that mold because we lived a good life. Don't get it wrong. But it's like they live in a well-rounded, structured, conservative lifestyle. I might have a nephew that wants to be hard, but even him. And it's like you trying to, I said, go through what you gotta go through. But when you ready, cause you gotta touch the water. But other than that, I let them know I love you, boy. You know I'm here for you. You know, little stuff like that. But some people have to touch the water. You can talk to them all you want. But then you know, you just pray that nothing happened to them that wants to be part of. And I can tell you right now, I got one nephew like that that's trying to. You heard me say trying, right? Trying to be hard. I'm like, boy, sit your butt down. Only reason why I say that, because I raised his mother, and I watched her, the morals and values and principles that she instilled in her children. And all of my boys. And I'm going to tell you, I watched my niece take care of her kids by herself. None of their fathers really helped her with nothing. I watched this off the little bit of money. I don't know how she did it, but she did it. Let me see. I think the youngest now about 15. Great kid. Then Shaquan, he's like my helper when I need him. Shaquan, I'm getting ready to say Daryl. Wait a minute, I got to get his name right. Y'all know I'm getting old. But the other one, he got his own place. He went both of them. Matter of fact, the two older, all three of them now, the two older ones, right, have their own places, right? So I'm proud of them. But I look at my niece. right? Now, reason why I'm sharing that, y'all, and I do brag a lot about my family. I do. I do brag a lot about the Copeland family. And I know a lot of y'all, which to me, I ain't trying to figure that thing out either. I'm not. As a community activist, you see, I'm saying community. I'm saying community. As a community organizer, as a community outreach coordinator, as a homeless advocate, I don't see how a lot of y'all cannot understand that my heart, my mind, and my soul is for helping to build back up in our communities. So anytime I say I'm a community, I'm a voice for the people. I'm a voice for the ones that are afraid. And I didn't understand a lot of this till it was brought to my attention. Like, you know what you are? I'm like, no, I'm just a man that want to see, Baltimore in a better place. Somebody told me, said, you are a life coach. I'm like, "Er." Now, mind you, I sponsored a lot of men and women, so I know how to take you inside of yourself on a spiritual journey. I know how to work with you spiritually. So if your self-esteem is low, I will feed you just like that therapist, just like that psychiatrist, just like that PRP. But understand this, I'm not licensed. But because I'm not licensed and because I'm not held bound by HIPAA laws, I can take you to a deeper place than them. Because most of them, they'll sit down and just listen to you. But if you dealing with rape, you dealing with abandonment issues, you dealing with abuse issues, you dealing with anything of that nature, when you come and you talk with me, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help embrace you to build back up in your character, knowing that you might be dealing with low self-esteem and stuff like that. My whole goal, because I will latch to you spiritually. That's a gift I have. I will latch to you. And my goal or my purpose is to comfort that spirit in you. So it's to comfort you, to make you feel better than what you saying or what people been telling you. Because the goal is to help you understand whoever mentally, emotionally, and spiritually abused you, telling you stuff like you'll never mount to nothing, you'll never be this, and the blah, blah, blah. And you steady doing this, you steady going down. Because they turn you down and there's nobody there to grab you, to build you up, to let you know you are better than anything anybody can say out their mouth. And that's what I tell y'all when I say certain things. When you see me coming, my thing is show me, not me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because you don't have to show me nothing. The thing is, I want you. Anybody say anything, you prove to yourself that you are better than anything I can say out my mouth. And if you got to go, nigga, I'm better than that, you chump, that's fine. But look, to show it, anything negative, somebody say, you reverse it. You reverse it. I didn't been called coons. I didn't been called porch ingrows. I'm like, who in the heck, Uncle Ruckus? I'm like, what? Who in the heck is that? And this all came from black people, not white people. I had to pull up, find out who was Uncle Ruckus. That was my first time I heard of Uncle Ruckus. And then they turned around and called me a porch. I don't know, bro. Unfortunately, so I looked it up and I seen an older lady, elderly, on the swing, right? Because, back then that's what we was calling the news, right? I'm just saying that for TikTok's sake. Y'all catch it now. Catch what I'm saying. So look, we was called that. I could have swore that was on my birth certificate. The eagle, right? So when I seen a lady on the swing on the porch, back from the old days, I said, yeah. Negro. Because I accept the fact. Y'all might cry about it. I'm a dark-skinned man. I ain't that ignorant one they try to talk about, you know. But when you describing a dark-skinned person, and that was part of the words, but guess what? Y'all can go look for information that discredited. But when I looked it up, it talked about a dark-skinned person. Okay? That's how they recognize the dark-skinned person. So now, if I want to be smart, look at me, I'm brown. I'm brown-skinned. I can call that. But my mother said to me, she said, Steve, we are considered as people of color. My sister looks very, very, very Caucasian, my youngest sister. Her father was a black man. Now, my mother was brown skinned, probably like me, but my sister came out real light, real light. She looked like a Chinese baby when she was coming up, you know, but she's light skinned. So she might look mixed, but no. So that helped me understand when my mother said, Steve, we are people of color. We come in different, you know, as far as melanated people. And I am brown. Look at me. So I'm brown, but I know I'm black. But I mean, let me make sure I get it right. Because I'm a brown skinned man. I'm brown. Okay? Because when I look at my skin, I'm brown. But I understand I am a black man. Did you realize I didn't say African? Even though they put the African in later. I am a black man. I was born in the United States of America. I have never in my life been to Africa. My grandfather, Charles White Copeland, his father, Eli Copeland, father was a white man. My great-grandfather is black, is all I'll do. I'm like, he been in the sun. That's the sun, you know, because I'm looking for him to be kind of mixed, right? Now, you know he mixed, but I'm just looking for him I thought he was going to be lighter. And I got a picture of him. That my cousin sent to me. Only thing I don't have is a picture of my grandfather. Now, I'll picture him a little bit in my mind because he passed away when I was a little bit younger. I was under 10, I believe. So I remember the walk. I remember the man, you know, but face-wise, no. But I have a picture now of his father. And I wished I had a picture. Do I got a picture of his mother or their mother? I'm trying to think. I think I have a picture of their mother, my grandfather, my grandfather mother, but not the great, right? But this is what I heard. I heard that my great grandmother was living in the house with the slave owner. And somebody told me, they said if she lived in that house with them, she must have been a beautiful woman. And that's all I hold on to, y'all. And I'm going to tell you this. I don't know if she was forced. I don't know because, you know, we wasn't back during that time. I don't know. But I'm here. My mother, my grandfather, my uncles, which was her great grandkids, stuff like that, or grandkids, because I'm more on the great side, right? So I would like to meet some of my white Copeland uncles and aunts. When I look back at my grandmothers, and I'm trying not to cry, y'all. When I look back at like that time frame, that they was here. She had 3 other kids. My great grandmother, my great grandfather mother had 3 other kids. So I made a screenshot of it, right? Now, I know they wouldn't be living. I already know that. But this is why it's so important to get to know your people. She had 3 other kids. I don't know if they was by him or not. Now, when I did my Ancestry.com, I got my great-great-grandfather name. And I went back. Ooh, it was a while back. I lost my mother when I was 26, right? But when I did my ancestry, it took me back to the 1600s. And from there, right, some kind of way, God took me to Jeremiah. And you know the old saying, if you don't know where you came from, you won't know where you're going. And God took me straight to Jeremiah. And God said to me, what he spoke to Jeremiah and said, basically he said to me, he said, I knew you before the foundation of this world. I knew you before I put you in your mother's womb. And from there, I stopped. Jeffrey, I think, because I got this white shirt on. From there, be honest with y'all, I stopped. Because that's all to me. I needed to know that spiritually, at one point I was in his presence before he put me in my mother's womb. And please, I'm not saying none of that other stuff matter. Don't get it wrong. But when he took me to Jeremiah and showed me this, it was to that point, I was once lost, but now I'm found. You know, and Coco with you. Wait a minute, I'm on my Restream Live to y'all. So and my mission right now, when I tell y'all my journey is spiritual, right? It's not based around religion. Now, I don't have no problem reading and studying certain things. But when I read and study stuff, I look for the morals, the values, the principles. I look for like scripture. When I read in scripture, I look for things to for me to be a better man, for me to be a better human being. I don't go into scripture and look for scriptures to condemn people with. I don't do that. And when I hear people talking about you gonna go to hell, you gonna this and that, no, I don't do that. One thing I learned in my process, right? If you understand grace and mercy, do not let nobody fool you. Because rather, and I'm gonna tell y'all something too, through my studying, you do not have to go through Christ to get into heaven. Now I'm only saying what I saw from what God revealed to me, not man. Because number one, you are his creation. You are his creation. Whether you're good or bad, he created that, it became bad. And that's what I begin to see. That's why I don't get all into that technical stuff. Even when it comes to Lucifer, and people want to make Lucifer out to be this monster, right? Now, check it out. We talk about how good of an angel he was, right? How he was second in command. God had a task for him, and he made the decision not to do it. So what he did, he rebelled against the Father. And because he rebelled against the Father, we makes him out to be this demon, this monster. And know what? I didn't understand that. Because everything God create is good. We are the ones that make the decision to do the opposite. Go against what is right. Now, I'm trying to keep it plain and simple for you because I'm not preaching, I'm not yelling, I'm not screaming. I'm only showing you what God start revealing to me about me. And you are a part of, I'm saying as a human being. That's all. I'm just saying as a human being, right? And guess what? When I sit here and I tell y'all, now, watch this. I'm a loving, kind, considerate person. I'm a Christ-like human being. I'm talking about my character, my personality. I'm emulating Christ's humility. I'm a loving, caring, kind, considerate person, right? Piss me off. I can be a rotten, no good son of a sea biscuit, but I'm still the same person. So that's what I started looking at Lucifer. I said, no, he just rebelled against the Father. So now we want to make him out to be a monster. But the thing is, when I know the truth, this wants what it wants. So my spirit man has to tell this, no. You have to gain control over this. People will mess your freaking head up. And it's plain. You got to talk with me later once I get off of here. Is it a 30-day lease she giving y'all or what? Tashawn, is it a 30-day lease? Or is it like a 3-6 months? Because it shouldn't be a year. It shouldn't be a year. And see, wait a minute, y'all. I apologize for this. You're not answering me. Is it a 30-day? Because when you're dealing with people that's transitioning or in a temporary housing program, you don't want, you can a 30-day lease, but you don't want to tie them to nothing longer than that. Because it's no guarantee you're going to be there in 6 months or a year. So normally when you do a lease and that person don't pay the way they supposed to, now you can file an eviction on them if you want your back money. I don't do homeless people like that. That's why I asked you, is it a 30-day lease? Don't ignore me now. You over here putting stuff on my that's why certain things you don't do. Because you can bring a homeless person, I'm sorry, into your program, and they might decide a week or two later they don't want to be there no more. So you don't want to bind them to anything. Some of them might not like the way you run your program. Some of them might not like you and want to make the decision to go. So you don't want them to feel like, you know, they captive or something. But I know she's a real estate agent, a realtor, and that's what she do. But my thing is, there's no guarantee. It's no guarantee when you dealing with mm-mm, mm-mm. This another lady that's working with us that's housing some of the clients. That's why I asked her, was it a 30-day lease? Because she's renting out rooms. She's renting out rooms, not a whole house. So if it was a whole house, then that's a total different thing. But now that's just me. She does stuff different because she is a realtor. So she does it a little. She does. That's her housing stuff. But um, Jack, I couldn't see your name because my everything is not as clear over here because I got this white shirt on, so I can't read a lot of stuff that people is probably trying to post. But yeah, that was one of the things I did, y'all. And once you begin to grow, once you begin to grow spiritually, right? And it's some stuff that started happening to me from being this real religious person. And I was at a Baptist church for like 5 years. And I ended up winging away from that church for about 3 years. And I remember telling somebody, you know, I felt the need to get back into the church. So a friend of mine said, come to my church. My pastor don't preach, he teach. And I didn't understand the difference. But when I got in that church and the pastor was teaching, if the words were so plain and so simple, and the Holy Spirit hit me and said, you are home. See, a lot of people don't get that. They don't get, they will jump, go to church, to church, to church, to church. I don't do that. Number one, I'm not letting everybody preach to me. Don't do it. That's why I had to get to know God for myself. I had to get to know God. Now, I'm not going to say I will not listen to you. If you're talking to me in a certain way, and I feel like that's the spirit that's having you talk with me, that's a different thing. But no, don't come preaching, don't come ministering to me. I'm an ordained deacon. I know my position. I know my job. And I do what I was called to do. Read up on it. I walk in my walk as a deacon. Everything that Christ and the disciples was doing in the inner city, embracing our poor people and our homeless people. If you really understand his mission and you really understand his purpose and the people that he came to. And because they was doing ministry, they couldn't address a lot of the issues. So they pulled the 7 to the side. And Stephen, which is my name, was one of the first ones they pulled to the side. Before I became an ordained deacon, I had to study. I had to understand my position and my calling. And once I understood, and it was time to graduate to become that ordained deacon, that title, not just me, it was a bunch of us that became ordained deacons, ministers, elders, all of that. And that's something the church do. I know at my church they do it, I think, once a year. So basically for me, I know a lot of people that hide behind the word in the church. They don't come in the street, but they talk a good game. And that's not to cut you down. That's not to say nothing smart. Because one thing I learned in that process, some people are afraid to go back into the community, even though they got Christ. They're afraid. They're afraid to come back and help people like themselves. And we had a meeting one time. It was a bunch of men that God delivered from the streets and all that. And they was afraid to go back out there. See, with me, I'm going to hurt Deshaun. She's sending me messages on here. Then she's sending me messages on my messenger. No, I'm on my live. And I'm going to just say this for some of y'all who understand and may not understand. A lot of the stuff that's happening is right there in scripture. It's right there in scripture. And some of us see what's going on. And it's a purpose for everything. It's a reason for everything. Even though we might not feel as though where this person is at, Trump, where he's at, he was put there for a reason. And a lot of us know that. A lot of people bow down to him. And I watched that. But what I learned in my process of walking, you want to win favor in man, more in man. I mean, more in God. I'm sorry. I had to catch myself. Somebody wrote Denzel Washington. What you mean about Denzel Washington? You know Denzel Washington is deep. Charlie, you know Denzel Washington is deep. I mean, I heard something Geno Jennings said the other day towards Denzel and Tyler Perry. And I personally, with Geno Jennings, I would not come under him. I would not. He just takes scripture and he bashes people too much. I would not. And if I run across something and he might pop up on here or something, I stroll. I just feel like what he do is personally geared towards him. And he knocks a lot. He will take scripture and tear you apart. And I'm like, that is not how we supposed to do. But if that's what works for him, cool. But he was talking about the other day, Charlie. Somebody asked him if Denzel donated $1 million to the church, would he take it? He said no. And Tyler Perry. Then he made a statement about Tyler Perry, playing women roles. Do y'all know that man's son is gay? And then, if I'm not mistaken, one of his daughters. But not being smart. You want to down somebody else's now. Whatever Tyler Perry thing is, because I don't get real deep into, I'm going to say his sexual preference, stuff like that, right? I don't get real deep because I don't know. But playing Madea is just an actor, right? That's just a character that he plays. So he kind of threw in what he does character-wise, acting-wise, to make it like a personal thing. And his thing is, because the Bible says this and the Bible says that, he's going to go in and he's going to try to critique you. But now understand this. God loves the sinner, but he don't like the sin. See, he won't say that one. I don't care what your lifestyle is. God loves the individual, but he don't like your practices. That's why we're able to do certain things and then say, Lord, please forgive me. See, people like that, they want to beat you down. That's called mentally, emotionally, and spiritually abusive. Spiritually abusive. Because you want to take the word, and he's strictly word. And he will tell anybody, right? Anybody that comes up against him, and if he feel like you out talking him, he's going to go other places to try to make it right and make what you saying wrong. They was talking about, and I'm gonna tell y'all this, and you need to stop. They had women preachers in the Bible, and I sent a lot of those scriptures over for people that said that God didn't ordain women to preach. You better go in there and read about Deborah. You better go in there and read about those women who he pulled to the side that ministered to the men. You had women that was queens that ran stuff back in the days. And he will go in there, he will go in the scripture and try to find something that's wrong. I said, look at this sucker. Look at this sucker. That's his way of trying to control people. And then look at the women in the church not being smart. When the Bible says come as you are, they covered, which is fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And look, he went after T.D. Jakes, right? Came hard for T.D. Jakes. He came hard for T.D. Jakes. Look up that article. He got mad because Sarah Jakes wouldn't talk to him. So he went after her father. Because I'm going to tell you this. When I see you zeroing in on certain people and trying to bash them, and I see you consistently doing it, I know it's something personal there. I knew it's something personal. And I knew something wasn't right there. I knew. I don't know if they arrest him or they was about to arrest him because he was doing something in the community. And they called the police on him. Read that stuff out. Because I'm telling you, just about any time you got an individual that will focus on somebody like that and other people, and I ain't talking about no damn Trump. Okay, y'all know where we at with that. Certain things set up. But when you got certain people that you tend to zero on, and this one right here, because I just thought about Trump again too. When you tend to zero on, now, because I am a community activist or human rights advocate, because of what I do, and I see certain things, I'm going to speak out on it. And I'm going to say this, I don't dislike Trump. I don't hate Trump. Please do not get it wrong. It's just a lot of the bull crap I see. Personally, he remind me too much of the old days in the lifestyle. That's what I don't like. And I look at how he played the people. I look how he played the people. I see how some people think he the best thing that ever existed in this world. When Bill Cosby did what he did, he paid the price. Young women came out the woodwork 30, 40 years later. He paid the price. He ain't gonna pay the price. And he know it. No matter what might pop up. He ain't worried about that. He'll play around with it, but sooner or later, a lot of people saying it. A lot of people saying it. Believe me, a lot of people seen the files. Now, pay attention. I don't care how they might mention, say, Bill Clinton, Obama. I'm just saying, I'm just using them. Say like, and then again too, they wasn't even involved in that bull crap. They wasn't even part of that. I just thought about it. But if they mention certain names like that, understand, they didn't mention them names with touching, doing certain things. He was the one that they put in with that. And he's about the only one that they put in with that. With Epstein. Pay attention. Even though they said this name was on the planes, that name was on the plane, this one was on the island, a lot of them was not accused of certain things. That's what y'all got to realize. The same with, I'm going to say, Diddy parties and all of that. Everybody that went to Diddy party wasn't a part of that bull crap, even though they was there. Some of them probably was just looking at it too, looking at them, Come on. R. Kelly, all of them. But the thing is, look where they at. He ain't going. And he know it. He know it. And I don't think he can go. So a lot of people not looking at the people that he hurt. And a lot of them slowly but surely coming out the woodwork because it takes a lot of courage. And then not only that, you putting your life on the line. Those the things that I dislike with certain things. And people like myself who come on and talk about certain things that most people say, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that. And that's understandable. It is. It is. And see, when I look at this and I look at what's happening, I'm going to say to my life, and I'm looking at God shutting me down. He shut me down. He allowed certain things to happen just to shut me down. Because sometimes I'll be like, God, why is this? Why is that? And later, it's like something amazing will start happening. And the way I'm seeing it, it's like, he's teaching me how to be stronger and more powerful in certain areas, mainly for the next journey. And sometimes I'd be like, God, is you trying to tell me to move away from the housing program, to move away from this, to move away from that? That's my love and compassion with helping people. I love it. I get so many people that come and block me from helping out people. And that's what hurts me because, look, people will sit back, know a lot of stuff I do not do. And when I say that, I'm talking about like scamming and robbing and taking from our people. But they will try to badmouth me like that anyway. People I know. And they know let me say something to them, because I tell them. Now, y'all know Steve ain't like that. But some people just into the chaos. And they want to find fault in you. And some of y'all looking at me too. That's why a lot of y'all backed up off me, because y'all know I see straight through your butts. Only thing I ask y'all to do, because y'all know I fight for the rights of the people. Stand with me. Y'all know my clients are independent. I do not take their cards. I do not take their food stamp card. They have to pay their way. Then when they get into the program, they get financial classes, somebody to teach them how to shop, how to how to wash clothes, make money. So why am I gonna take their goddamn money when you trying to help them, be more independent with that money and get into apprenticeship programs? We was talking about this today. Somebody said something about college. They said a lot of, I'm gonna say, young black men, mainly black men, are not going to college. They're not. And mainly the ones that's in the inner city, the hustlers. They're not. Some will, but God knows that's real life. But they will go to trade schools. And that's the whole goal, is encouraging them and motivating them to get into like apprenticeship programs where they can make a decent living in life. And they don't have to keep doing that. So I already know. So the conversation was based around that. Now, my son, and I told them, plays soccer. So he has to get some college under his belt in order to continue doing what he's doing. And he already knows his process. He already knows. So that's the difference between our inner city kids who's used to living a certain way. Some of them, yes, they want their GED, they want their high school diploma. Some of them might, all depends on where they at and who you talking to. They might want to go and get a couple of years in college for whatever, say, profession that they're trying to get into. It all depends. It might have to take a little college. But for most of the, I'm going to tell you point blank, for the most of the inner city young men, your hustlers, they more like, to them in their mindset, they're businessmen. So they're going to get into apprenticeship program. They might want to be an electrician. They might want to be a welder. But see now, when I say that, because most of them might end up being their own entrepreneur. You know what I mean? They starting their own business. So they start out first. Then as time go on, that becomes their career, that's become their profession, that becomes their business. So they take that hustling mindset that they used to use in a negative way, and they'll turn it around for what's positive. So that's the difference between some or the majority of your hustlers. They will take up a trade. And a lot of them, you got to ask them. Some of them might tell you, I want to get in culinary classes. Some of them might tell you, and I'm talking about men or young men. I want to go to school to be a nurse, a male nurse. Some of them do barbering and they want to be certified or licensed where they can teach other people. See, that's you got to talk with them. You have to talk with our young men and women to see where they at. Because most of them have a dream or vision. And some of them might say, I want to get into, say, like with me. They might want to teach classes of dancing or something like that. I'm trying to think of what it's called actually, right? But that's why you got to talk with people. You got to talk with them and see where they at. And whatever visions they have or dreams they have to become like a professional person rather than like a regular job, At least in Baltimore City, the minimum wage now is like $15. And nobody should be making under 11. Nobody. And we're at the top where it's topped out at 15. Now I haven't heard them talk about like raising it now to say 20. I was one of the ones that spoke on the $15 minimum wage in Annapolis, and we got that bill passed. That was a beautiful feeling to walk out there in front of that crowd. You talking about a guy that come from the streets. That was a beautiful feeling. And then talk about why it's so important to the employers. People like Donald Trump. People like Elon Musk. People like Bill Gates and them. They got all these billions of dollars. Might not be giving some of their employees bonuses for the great job that they doing. They the ones help you get that money like that. It's your employees that believe in your vision and your dream to help you become successful. And that's what I spoke to them. It's like with me. If people believe in your dream and your vision, they're going to come with you. They're going to work with you to be successful. And then you got those that see you doing all the right things and the good things to be successful. They come and grab you by your pants and try to pull you down. I run across that a lot. I get people that badmouth me, and then I got to go behind them and clean it up. And then guess what? That's why I tell people, if you want to know about Steve Copeland, just call me. If you want to know what somebody else tell you about Steve Copeland, then stay there with them. That's all you got to do is watch my lives. One thing about me, I talk too damn much. I ain't got no problem telling y'all what's going on with me, whether I screw up or I'm doing right. And 99% of the times right now, I'm doing right. I just, I'm not perfect, but 99% of the time, I'm older now. A lot of the stuff I used to do when I was younger, I just don't do no more. I don't care to do them. I don't have that desire like I used to for destruction. So if you want to know anything about me, you can always call me. Matter of fact, you look at my damn videos. Oh, he cussed too much. You just know that. I try not to though. Then I might say, Lord, please forgive me. And he's supposed to be a deacon. I am. And I do everything a deacon's supposed to do. What is you doing? Nothing. I like this song. I may not be perfect, but I sure have been faithful. I may not be perfect, but I sure have been faithful. And I have to look at myself, and I have to look at my mission and my purpose. That's the faithfulness he was talking about. Staying true to the game, the ministry, your calling. That's why I tell people, I said, my actions speak louder than anything I can say out my mouth. And that's a beautiful feeling because know what? Y'all see me here. And I will post like most of the pictures now, some of them new, but most of the pictures I'm trying to show people is throughout the years. Because 2 years ago, I was shut down. I was set up to get off the streets. And I'm back. Now, I already know I can't run as hard as I can, at least by myself. I can't do it. So I have a bunch of people. And I'm talking about like civil rights advocates, all this type of stuff, community activists, that we're doing stuff together. So I'm not by myself this time. Now, you might see me on my live because a lot of them don't have what I have to talk about certain things. A lot of them might post little stuff on Facebook, but the good part about it, I have a broadcast network. And when I'm able to, and I got to learn to do it, when I'm able to pull people up on my restream, I might have to go take some classes too. But when I'm able to do that or get my own team broadcast, oh God, come on, Steve. I need somebody that's real good with studio work, studio production work. And this young lady had reached out to me, but some kind of way we disconnected. I want my own studio. That I can broadcast out of. And then I got a teen talk show. It's called Be More Real Teen Talk. So I want to get that back up and running too. And I'm gonna tell y'all, and I see it, and it's really, really, really disheartening. And I'm talking about my brothers and sisters. I see the hatred we have towards each other. It's like we will not get out of that mindset. We will not work. Like when something negative come in that you want to make towards that other person, you have to try to switch that shit out quick. I'm telling you. Oh, he did. Oh, he that. Oh, she this. Oh, she that. It might not be where you at with certain things, but you have to flip it. Because I'm telling you, if I don't agree with a lot of stuff. I don't. So that's why when I come on my talk show, I can say what I want over here because this is mine. And y'all might hear me come kind of hard with certain things, but watch how I'll flip it. You'll focus on that negative so you'll have something to talk about rather than saying, yeah, well, oh yeah, he shared this, he shared that, and how he was able to, or working with people to come up out of certain situations. You won't do that. You won't do that. Now, I can't say that with white people because I don't know. But I know when it comes to us, we is quick to cut each other's neck off, cut each other's head off, And I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. But whenever I talk to somebody to understand where I'm at with certain things, They take it right back to that slave man mentality with us in the present. It's like it's been, how they say, it's been passed down generation after generation after generation. And when I hear a lot of y'all on TikTok talk, y'all be acting like black people and white people is the only people that existing in this world. You don't look at other cultures. You don't look at, hey, we going through certain things. White people going through it too, but not as bad as us. It's always making it personal. And I be like screening down, and it is hard now to find a good platform on TikTok if it ain't bashing each other. And basically they be the same freaking topics. If you got a black man like a white woman, and they be the same topics. You can flip down, you can go on there and stroll through, right? Go down about 2 more, 3 more, same things. 2 more, 3 more, same things. 2 more, 3 more, same thing. Black, white issues. Black, white issues. Now we need to create our own island and stuff. I'm like, shit. All blacks. Sean, shoot. Look at the type of attitude we have now. You think I want to be around your asses all the time? Hell no. Hell no. I might need some color in there. I don't see y'all now. Y'all be driving the black man crazy. Have me like this. Put me on an island with just all black people. I'd be glad to leave y'all asses. Bad enough about that now, and y'all act the way you act, and I hang out for a while. I'm like, gone, bite. We done got this situated, right? Bite. Next time, I go out, hang out a little bit, get it situated, bite. I'm going home. That's what I do. Whatever the issues is, let's address the issues. See how we can resolve them. Slow certain things down. Might not get done the way we wanted that day, but then later it's like, bite. Time to go home. Relax myself and all that. Y'all talking about creating one goddamn planet, one island. I'm like, okay. Okay. Bite. Mm-hmm. I got biracial nieces and nephews. My son, girlfriend is white. Bye. I told my son, I said, when y'all gonna make me a grandbaby? We ain't ready yet, Dad. I said, God. Bye. Go to your own little planet, black people, your own little island. And y'all be strong about that. Bye. I'm in Baltimore City. Been in Baltimore City for 63 years. A lot of y'all ain't even 40 yet. Talking about living on your own planet. Go to Mars. Go to Venus. Tell Elon Musk that y'all need your own island. Y'all be coming too. I'm like, okay. And I'm not saying it's not impossible. Don't get it wrong. I'm just saying for me, what the hell I want to be around y'all 24/7. It ain't gonna be nothing but a bunch of chaos and confusion. Look what's happening now with us. If you show me we can get along together, I might agree with you. We fight each other tooth and nail. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Gotta add some other type of flavor in there. I'm telling you. I'm gonna get ready to get off. I've been on an hour and a half. And I appreciate y'all. I might be getting sleepy now. I bought me some chicken thighs. And I tried to season them like they did in the hospital. Ooh. And it was so tender. Ooh. Ooh. Mm. And I put some mushroom, cream of mushroom on mine. So I'm gonna go down there and make some macaroni and cheese. Cause they didn't give us macaroni and cheese in it. I would get potatoes with gravy, and I would get rice. So I got rice and all that here. That's not a problem. But I got 2 boxes of macaroni and cheese that's been up there. So I'm just thinking about going down there and putting them on. But then I wanted to get me one of them little scoopers, like the ice cream scoopers, because that's how they measured basically the starchy stuff. And I said I was gonna start doing that too. But now I need to. I'm not a early morning person. Like round 7, they would bring breakfast. Then I would eat lunch at 12. So now, if I get up at 8 here, I would go down there because I got the little pancakes. And I had brought the sausages because that's what they was giving me. Like 2 pancakes, a sausage, and some eggs. So now I'm trying to make my plates just like that because I have a tendency I will skip breakfast. And like I told them, I will skip lunch. And then I'll just eat dinner. And they told me I had to stop. And I know. But it's just a habit. And then I take Trulicity. So that cures the appetite. And I explained to them that by me not having an appetite, I'm not going to eat. So it's like now I have to force myself to eat. That Trulicity, 4 boxes of that's about $1,000. And then they got some other stuff that people taking that cures your appetite from being like if you're dealing with diabetes and stuff like that. So that's why I like it because it cures that craving a lot. And sometimes, I might want because I'm a chocolate man. So sometimes I might crave for a chocolate. When I go around to the market, I be looking at like the donut section. I be looking at the donuts they have in the glass, and I be wanting one stuff like that. But I don't grab it. I keep on, and I might look at the pies, the cakes, and stuff like that. And I'll look at the price, right? $5.99. I'm like, I ain't getting that. Little stuff like that, right? Because I'm one person. If I bring a damn pie in here, I've been ate this like all by myself. And I'm like, don't do it, Steve. Don't do it. Don't do it. So I'll get the little granola things, stuff like that. The little packs. Cause I'll eat like one, stuff like that. And sometimes, cause I can eat like the applesauce and stuff like that, I can get those too. To eat the way they gave me the stuff they gave me there. But My biggest thing is sometimes I won't eat breakfast. Sometimes I won't eat lunch. And I'll just eat dinner. Now, to me, I'm all right with that. Because to me, I'm not trying to gain weight, you get me? So to me, I'm all right with not doing certain things. But then they help me understand how the body and the organs work when you're not properly putting that in you. Like the breakfast, the lunch, or just eating, say, 6 small meals a day. Because now your organs will start producing certain things, like the insulin itself, or you cause certain. I can't name the organs straight out. Some of y'all might be more familiar, but they talk about the pancreas. They talk about the liver. They talk about certain organs that has to produce its own stuff if you're not feeding it the way you should. And I'm not real good with a lot of that, but they are doctors, so they understand the important part of it for your body to kick out certain things. But all in all, because I'm not familiar with a lot of it, I'm moving right, I'm functioning right, little stuff like that. And which is normal stuff, the walking, exercising. But then when you go to the doctors, you'll find out, like me, I deal with high blood pressure. I've been having high blood pressure since God knows when. And it has a tendency of dropping on me too. So sometimes I can move a little bit too fast and that sucker go, I be like, get back down, sit down, sit down. So um, I'm gonna tell y'all the body is like, phew, oof. I don't care what you do sometimes. It seems like everything in my case, I try to do, you know, as a diabetic, as a human being. And when you go to the doctors and certain things, it's like it just seems like it's just not enough. And I'm like, in a sense, what the hell y'all want me to do then? But and in my case, like I said, if you don't do as a diabetic, woo, woo, as a diabetic, shoot, a lot of the meats and stuff I used to eat, I don't eat no more. It's like you be scared to go eat a sandwich or something, or you scared to well, I basically boiled them. I boiled them, right? But I boiled them in a tray, like what you put in the oven. So I boiled them, and that's how I do my chicken now, and that's how I'll do my fish because I normally buy chicken and fish. All that beef and all that. If I eat beef, that's something that's a once in a while thing. The beef, I be wanting to get like ground beef and something like to make a spaghetti. We can, but then it's like how much of it you eat. You get me? That's what it's all based around. How much you put in you, and you can basically have whatever you want, but you have to eat a measurable amount. That's all. So I've been a diabetic man for a little over 35 years since I was 26. I found out, and I'm 33 now. 63. God dang it, I said 33. But I thank God because when I look at, like looking at myself now and talking on here for 63 and the stuff I've been through, I'm like, Steve, you're a good looking man. You's a good looking man. And I can't, in a way, because I'm 63, and I run across so many people that's a little bit younger than me, but yet they look older than me. I don't know if that's the stress of life, them taking care of themselves. Some young men might recognize like Unc, OG. I don't know if they recognize like he's 63, like granddad mode, right? But Unc, OG, some of them call me Yacht. It all depends because they think I'm a Muslim because of my haircut and stuff like that. And I laugh. I'll be like, no, I'm not a Muslim. I'll be like, no. But that's how some of them address me, you know. And it's just the way you carry yourself. And some of them, once you like might just say certain things to them in a joking way, like I used to do that, I used to do this, I used to do that, and they be like, yeah, for real, blah blah blah, because they know you understand more when you kind of share with them. I used to live a certain lifestyle myself, and some of them will ask you, how was you able to get out the game and stay out the game? And you know me, I'm going to share it with them. That's why I listen to a lot of people real closely, because I listen to what you say. But then my thing is, I'll ask people, well, what is you doing in the community to like help change lives? What type of program, you know, intervention programs, things like that. And a lot of them don't have it. They just repeat the same things over and over again. Oh, we need to do this, we need to do that. But then it's like when I share what I'm doing here in Baltimore City, I be feeling so uncomfortable because it's people that dislike to talk, and it'll make somebody like me feel uncomfortable when I know what I'm doing to help improve the lives of others because of me too myself. And it's like they, I can share it with you, let you know what I'm doing, blah, and then they hear me, but they turn around and start doing it again. Like, we need to do this and do that, and I'm like, damn, didn't I just share that? But that just helped me to understand how people just like to talk. People just like to talk. They like to talk real good. And then if you're talking about politics, right? If you want to knock the Democrats because you like the Republican Party better, all of them the same. They the same, no fall for the hype. I deal with Democrats and Republicans. I am a Republican. I'm just not a Trump fan. It's a lot of us that understand the purpose and what the Republican Party stands for, right? When it comes to the people. Just like with the Democrats, you have to understand their mission, their purpose. When it, as Democrats, you can knock them, you can call them whatever you want. But now, you calling the Democrat, you talking about the party, but not the individual. See, but that's who y'all bashing. Already know that. But guess what? Their affiliation as a Democrat doesn't talks about their character. Because you have to get to know the individual to understand why certain things they do, right? Like Jasmine Crockett is one, and I can tell you straight out, she's for the people. You got some Democrats, you know, that because they all got rules and stuff they have to live by, but she is strictly for the people, and y'all cut her the hell down, which is very sickening. And I'll be like, wow, this girl was what, a lawyer. Then she had a degree in political science. Trump don't have that. So this girl understands the constitutional rights. Trump might understand a little bit, but he doesn't have a degree in political science. So he'll play a game with it because that's what he do. That's what he do. And he told us. So now, to say what I said, when I found out that Jasmine Crockett was a community person as well, right? Activist. I understood why she talked the way she talked, why she speak the way she speak. I do. Because you know what? Now I start looking at me. Because I am a community activist. I am a community outreach coordinator. So when you for the people, and I tell you straight out, I'm for the people. Not about the politics. I'm for the people. And that's why I said Jasmine Crockett is for the people. And y'all, and I look at her and I think she's a well-rounded conservative person. She's very beautiful, but y'all will call her ghetto as all outdoors. I said, nope, that's not ghetto right there. No, she's a class act. And she's strong and she's powerful. And y'all want to tear it down. So I'm saying it because I get it too. I get it too. Anybody that represents the people, y'all mother suckers will cut them down. Anybody. I see it personally for myself. And sometimes it's discouraging. I be wanting to turn the other way, right? Turn my back, just like a lot of y'all. But it's like, mm-mm, mm-mm. I ain't turning my back on our people. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Stand firm and keep it moving, Steve. Y'all can hate me all you want. That's the one up there. Whenever I'm feeling a certain way, that's who comfort me. Whenever my spirit is low, I have to do the necessary things to let them comfort me. Y'all don't do that. Y'all don't do that. Y'all will go and sleep around and eat this and eat that just to find peace within yourself. And guess what? It doesn't work. It's just a temporary situation. Because I went through all that too. I went through it too. But I'm going to tell you what. At 63, I try to keep it real simple. You know what's wrong. You know the difference between right and wrong. Some of y'all straddle the fence, but you know the difference between right and wrong. And if you know, if you living by some morals, and I'm talking about spiritual morals, values, principles. I ain't talking about those line manipulations and conceiving, because that's a part of me too. If I allow it to act, if I allow it to act like that, because I've done it. So it's there. That's just part of who I am as a person. I got a good side and I got a bad side. But today, I love that good side. Yeah. And I try to stand firm on my integrity, my morals, my values, my principles. And a lot of people hate it because they know I don't compromise my stuff. They hate it. I'm telling you. I almost called some names. Y'all know they hate it. So when y'all talk, when I hear y'all talk about Jasmine guy, right? It's this real black guy that's been coming on lately, and he looked like a Muslim. But you know, most people, and you can tell human rights advocates, right? You can tell from the way they talk and everything, right? And this brother, you can tell. I believe he's a Muslim, and I admire the way he carried. Because basically, a lot of us, because we understand the slave trade stuff, right? And how it's affecting people in the here and now. And everybody that it's affecting is not black. Mm-hmm. But now for us, we basically talking about us, our people, right? Whenever I'm with other nonprofits, right? You might have people that's representing the Jewish community. You might have people that's representing the Hispanic community. So when we all come together, we come together. I got a lady up in Florida that me and her stay connected. And when she come down here in Baltimore City, and she deals with the immigrants or the Hispanic, basically, right? Want to make sure I say it right. But she deals with them and she travels. So whenever she come to Baltimore City, she'll let me know she here. But I deal with people all over. I have a lady in the UK. I haven't heard nothing from her lately. But now, the lady in the UK, and I am going to watch this word. The lady in the UK. A lot of the politicians over there, please catch what I'm saying, with the younger kids. And she speaks out about that. TikTok blocked her over here. I'm sorry. Facebook blocked her because of her getting the word out. So she started her own group. And it's a lot of them from the UK. So a lot of times when I'm on my live like this, they can actually see me. They can see it. Now, what I do, I'll go on their page from time to time just to see what's happening over there. Because it's a group of them that started that page. So a lot of our politicians over there. And remember this. Thank you, God. Somebody was talking about a lot of the children that they end up putting away. Somebody was talking about that. Had diseases. Smacks. And I'm going to tell you what got me. When I heard JD talk about, I think it's supposed to have been something like 3,400 kids. I don't know if he said they came up missing, because this was a while back during their campaign. I'm trying to think, what did he say that was happening to him? And I said, you motherfucker. Y'all knew that was that many kids? So a lot of times they know already what's going on. And a lot of people in power, y'all got to understand, just because they got money, your millionaires, your billionaires, they got, they too. Because one, they're human. I don't care if you living in the inner city, you poor, you homeless, this and that, and you might be dealing with great issues and abandonment issues and abuse issues. They go through the same stuff too. The same stuff with all that money. So y'all gotta stop thinking they much better than they don't go through stuff. Yes, they do. But now, Yolanda, right? And what I'll do, I'll go on her page. So we talk about people over in the UK. And I'm gonna say this to you. I noticed you haven't been coming up on my TikTok stuff in a while, that you turned your name to David, and he's over in the UK. And I had asked him because I was talking about their specific area that they're in and what she's dealing with the politicians and what they're doing. And people come up missing. And, same way we do here. And by me talking the way I do, that's how her and I start connecting, right? Maxwell Harris. Whenever y'all see Maxwell Harris come up on my Facebook page, Maxwell Harris is in Africa, and I had started a foundation for Maxwell Harris. I was sending him money. The goal was to send him products, right? But somebody told me rather than sending them the products, just send them the money. Because I think when it comes to them buying stuff over there, it's a lot cheaper. But right now, financially, I'm not able to, send him like I used to. It wasn't no more than like $150, something like that. But and I know, he's been following me for the longest time. And you can see he's a very God-fearing young man, you know. I even talked with his pastor and all that over in Africa. And they want me to come and visit, and I might one day. But the thing is, once I get up to moving about the way I used to, once I can get some extra finances coming in where I can start sending him stuff again, that's what I want to do. And even when it get to that point that I can send him stuff like with the containers, because that was the whole goal, because I get donations and stuff, and to start sending them stuff to Africa. But y'all know that costs money too. And keep in mind, a lot of stuff I'm sharing y'all, I've been doing for years. I've been doing a little bit of everything for years. If you go on my Google page, uh, Strengthen the Community, the Latanya D. Copeland House of Hope, you will see some of the pictures of Maxwell and the people up in Africa, And like I said, I have the number to his pastor. I have his number. We don't talk like we used to, because of go. But once in a while, I'm talking about here doing certain things. But once in a while, we will talk. We will talk. But he always send me something spiritual to build my spirit. And he calls me dad. And I call him son. So a lot of y'all that think, you know, highly of me, it's okay. Sometimes it do, I want everybody to like me. But I realize everybody ain't gonna like you. People gonna always find something to say negative about you, bro. They gonna always find something. I be looking for pastors. A lot of y'all on my pages. A lot of y'all know what I do with the homeless population and stuff. You can take up a little collection. I want another building. I want another building where I could do everything. I wouldn't mind taking back over this building, but this person have to let that building go with that lease. And everything that me and my crew is doing, we can continue doing it out that building. It's a shame when people see you and want to make up all the excuses in the world. Certain things I just don't do. And if that's the way you do business, that's the way you do. Because certain things that was said that I should have done, I felt like I was selling my soul. And I told them that. I said, I can't believe y'all saying this to me. Because I felt like I was going against everything that I believe in. And I'm saying this, I have not been with a woman, right, in 6 years now. I have not. And I am not compromising. Catch what I'm saying? I have not And when they told me I should have stepped across that line, I looked at them like, y'all mother, why would you do that? I felt like for me, and where I'm walking, the way I'm walking, I felt like I was selling my soul if I did. And I told them that. I said no, because I felt like I'm going against everything that I believe. Like I'm compromising and selling my soul. And I couldn't believe the religious people that said what they said. I'm like, I can't believe that shit. I can't believe you saying this. And tried to justify it, make it right. And one was a minister. I felt like I was selling my soul to the devil if I had went there. Ask me, am I talking to that person anymore? No. And I was disappointed. All this spiritual Gucci bull junk this person was talking. And I'm like, oh my God. And I ain't even gonna say her name. Cause she told me too. She was like, oh, you should have went there. You're a damn lie. I was like to myself, man, y'all some God-loving, caring people. And you gonna tell me I should? No. And I'm like, you're a damn minister. You gonna tell me, yeah, you should have. Oh, ew. That's how I felt. Hey, no, that's how I felt. No, ooh, no. Ooh. I mean, all that was about to come out. I ain't got the sugar thing in me, but God dang it, I felt like the sugar thing was in me. I'm like, no. No. I ain't compromising my morals and my values and my principles. No. Look what I'm saying. So that so I can get the lease in my name. No. Like, no. I ain't wanted to say that, y'all. They told me I should have stepped across the line. I said, the hell no. Keep that damn lease. You keep that lease, I get my own damn building. I ain't selling myself for nobody. As much as I can use that building, like, no. And no, I ain't had no smack in 6 years too. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Let me get off of here. I think her daughter about 40 something, right? I said, I'll do the damn daughter first. Let me stop. uh-uh. Uh-uh. I want to see the daughter. Now I might compromise. She got me fine. No. And that might have been real tempting too. Shit, I do you damn. Hey, you ain't had shit coming. Let me tell you that. And I know you mad as shit at me. Somebody gonna tell her too. Steve on there talking about you. She wanted my body. Let me stop. When they told me, yeah, she wants you, I said, I know, I told you. You won't get this. They told me I should have did it. I said, y'all motherfucker. I can't believe it. In the name of Jesus. And you call yourself a I can't believe you said something like that to me. You wanted me to sell my soul to the devil. And he said it was okay. I said, you a damn lie. I'm gonna get off of here. You should have went there. I'm like, and you call yourself a religious man? I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. Seriously. It was about 4 of us together, right? I'm talking about men. And y'all know they were trying to convince me. You should have this, you should have that, you should have. I'm like, no. If we was there, I'm like, y'all mother suckers. Y'all. And I should call y'all names though. Turkeys. Well, sit up there and tell me, you know how us men get together, right? And we start talking certain things. Boy, you should have knocked that wall. I'm like, do y'all know I'm on a spiritual journey now? If it don't turn me on, I ain't touching it. And God knows, it's getting to a point I ain't trying to be smart. I want a friend, but not just a friend. I just, cause I'm scared for me. If I start with this one and that thing hitting and holding, I'm going to the next one. That one hitting and holding, I'm gonna go to the next one. Next thing I know, I'll be running again. Cause I'm telling y'all now, Smacks is a like it's like an addiction for me. If I could use that word, TikTok. Smacks. I'm telling you. See, I know me. I know me. And I did not, family, I did not plan to be without somebody for almost 6 years. That's abnormal to me. And then y'all know, y'all know, I deal with women and children, right? Then let me move the children out the way because I don't want that to sound too crazy. But I deal with women, right? And I know a lot of them are very, very vulnerable and stuff like that. So even if my mind try to go there, it's like, don't know, because I'm here to help you, not hurt you. And that's what I have to make clear to whoever come into my housing program. I done had 18-year-olds come in, 19-year-olds come in, 21, 23, stuff like that. And very, very attractive young ladies. You know what I mean? And when you do have certain people coming in, you got to be more on your P's and Q's, you know, because a lot of people, men, will take advantage of that. So for me, I have to make it clear to them all, I'm here to help you, not hurt you as far as taking advantage of you. You know, um, some came in and certain younger females, I try to guide them to other programs that deals more with your 18. Some might be 17 too. Don't get it wrong. And they have babies. They have a baby or two. And you be like, darn. Because some of them might have had them kids when they was 13, 12 years old. You like, what? Mm-hmm. So you know what's happening, right? When you get, say, a 18-year-old in your housing program, and she got a 5 or 6 year old. You like, what the hell? But I can't say it out loud, right? Because you like, when you add it up, now some of them got pregnant by young men, their age, around their age, and some of them it went further. So when they come in and we're taught. I do not, and let me help y'all understand this. When I talk with a client, female, I have at least one or two in it with me because I don't never want nobody to say Mr. Steve this, Mr. Steve that. No, 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 no. Now, when I was first doing it, when I had the two houses, we would get personal and deep. But then I learned, I said this time, when I opened back up everything, I had to put a team in front of me. And that's what I did. Thank you, God. So when it comes mainly with the women, I have the women that deal with the women. Now, when it comes to the women, and I say I want the women to deal with the women, you have women that nobody taught them how to maintain themselves. You get me? So I want women that can help the women when it comes to personal women things. Hygiene and all that. Keeping that thing right too. You get what I'm saying? As a man, no. But you want the women to basically teach them how to properly maintain and take care of themselves. Um, that's how I do stuff, y'all. That's how I do. And even when it comes to the men, um, because of some of the old stuff I done, and I don't do it today. So when it comes to the men, and I can hear some men who judge their manhood by their, you know what I mean? And I've done a lot of that. You know, sometimes I hear guys talk about certain things, I done this, I done it, girls, blah, 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 and then I come back and say, you know, at one time I had 8 females. And see, my goal, I had prayed for 10. I didn't pray to God for 10. I was going through something. I prayed for 10. And I got to about 8. And I was sleeping with 4 or 5 a day. Well, smexing with 4 or 5 a day. It was getting to the point, now check this out, because a lot of y'all might not pay attention. I got 8 females and I got 8 different personalities. So I would have to act like this with that one, this with that one, this with that one, this with that. And it got to the point I felt like I was losing me because I had to adjust to that. And it got to the point because I was doing what I was doing. I felt like this, like I was about to lose my freaking mind. And it was like God removed them out my way. I will call this one, hey, can I come and get you? Blah, blah, blah. Nope. I will call this one, hey, can I come and get you? Blah, blah, blah. Nope. But see, what I was trying to do, check it out. Whatever I was going through in here, I was using them to sedate whatever I was going through in here. So God moved them out the way. And I had to deal with me. I had to look at me. And whatever that was going on inside of me, it was like, ew, because I had to deal with me. Ooh, ooh. And I had to deal with whatever personal issues I was feeling inside. And I was using SMEX to sedate those feelings. So now I got to look at me. Now, mind you, because I have the working knowledge of the 12 steps, y'all know I had to go inside of myself. I had to do a fearless more inventory. I had to do a daily, and I had to do like a daily inventory. I had to like, okay, Steve, what is going on? Why are you doing what you're doing, what you're doing, what you're doing? So in the process of this, and somebody else, when you find yourself, and I'm gonna say SMEX is an addiction for me. It's no different than the smugs and all that type of stuff. You get me? SMEX is the same. One is too many, and 1,000 is never enough. So I had to surrender. Once I was able to surrender, which God moved them out the way, now I was able to turn around and look at me. So they're out the way. And I had to go inside to find out why. Because a lot of men might not like to hear this. But when you call yourself sleeping with this one, that one, this one, that, you're selling yourself. You might look at yourself and think you're doing a good thing because you wanga. But actually you selling your own self cheap. And that's what I had to look at with me. Why was you out there, Steve, prostituting yourself? See, a lot of y'all won't go there with that because you'll let your ego and your pride stand in the way. But you don't want to talk with me. The reason why? Because I've been there. And I'm going to show you certain things because it's about dealing with your reality. So this is what I do when it comes to myself and when it comes to sponsoring anybody that comes in my life. So now, all in all, right, we have to get to the root cause of why, Steve, you're acting in a destructive way. Because now, mind you, my life is becoming unmanageable because I'm caught up. And I want to say in a destructive behavior, but I'm caught up. I'm losing control. I'm not managing a lot of stuff. So I had to gain control back over my life again, mainly in that area. And because I had that numbers and everything, right, I had to get rid of the numbers. I had to stop driving in the areas that they be in because when I do, that's why we have to change people, places, and things. When I do, I want to see if hey, can I? So basically, I had to travel different ways so that I won't see them. Because the goal was I had to, when God moved them, I couldn't touch it again. And believe me, I was real tempted. But I was looking at what was happening to me. And then on top of that, from me selling myself short, right, I had to start believing back in me. I had to start having faith back in me. I had to start trusting back in me. I had to start believing back in me. I had to stop looking for outside things to make me feel whole and complete. I had to start looking back at Steve. Started gaining strength again. Watch what I'm doing. Start powering up again. Whew. I felt like that wedge, that hedge of protection from God, the Holy Spirit. I felt like I lost it. And I had to regain that. So I had to start reading scripture again. I had to start listening to, gospel again. Because I'm feeding the spirit, right? And that's what helped me to from not selling myself short. So when you see a lot of people out there, right? When you see that prostitute out there, because she's not loving on herself. If you see a man that's tricking, because he's not loving on himself. And we look for outside stuff to make us feel whole and complete. It takes a lot of work, y'all, not to do that. But in my case, because I understand addiction, I understand, when you slowly, watch what I say, when you slowly, not really realizing it, trying to commit suicide, you know, even though you out there doing what you do, that's a slow death within itself, right? I didn't realize. And anytime you out there, you sleeping around and you not wearing nothing to protect yourself, it's like deep down inside you saying, I want to go. And I'm going to tell y'all, and I'm saying this right because it takes a lot of work sometimes when you're struggling with certain things in life. That's why if you sign up for my housing program, I want you to talk with the PRP is fine, but the therapist, the psychiatrist, or the psycho, because I'm learning a little bit more stuff. That psychotherapist, right? Because you need somebody to help you balance that back out. You need somebody to help you go inside, right? It's in here and help you build back up in here. So I tell the therapist, I tell the PRP, I tell them all. I said what I do when I meet somebody, the goal is to help them feel that being honest with themselves, having faith back in themselves, trusting in themselves because they are spiritual morals and values. I said the reason why I work with them like that because I want them to be honest with you about what's going on with them so they can get the help that they need. And I know how deep that is. It's nothing like setting yourself free. It's nothing like dealing with that ugliness from whatever. And I do that even when it comes to the children. That's why I started the Teen Talk Show so that our youth can talk about where they at and what's going on with them because they need to be heard too. That's why I do what I do, what I do. And I understand, like I said, how important it is to go inside. That's what the LaTonya D. Copeland House is all about. Digging inside, getting to the root cause, getting to the root. When I talk with Brandon Scott, if I talk with Ivan Bates, if I talk with all of them, and we're at like a community event, right? My goal is y'all need to learn to win other people as far as y'all need to win their faith and trust back in y'all. They don't trust y'all no more. And then I'm talking about the police department because you got a bunch of phony fake ones too. I got some personal experience with that they ain't gonna like when we talk. But guess what? They don't like me anyway. So when it comes to our politicians, when it comes to when I say our local leaders. Whenever y'all hear me say local leaders, I'm talking about the damn police department. Okay? When y'all hear me say, I know when I say elected officials, y'all know what I'm talking about with that, right? But other than that, when y'all ever hear me say our local leaders, I'm talking about the police department. I have not met the new commissioner yet. And I would love to meet him because I'm gonna let him know who the hell I am and what I do around Baltimore City. How you doing, man? Glad blah, 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 blah. Commissioner Harris, for a lot of y'all don't know, he's a pastor. I'm connected with him. And this is what I do when we communicate from time to time on Facebook. I say, yeah, because you know I'm the big mouth boy, black dude. He's like, I know who you is. He do. He do. But I always knew he had the ministry in him. So it was something different a little bit about Commissioner Harris. But the only thing that got me with Commissioner Harris when he came here with that consent decree, I know y'all probably like, what the hell are you talking about? That took the power out of a lot of our seasoned police's hands. A lot of them that wanted to really, like, they want to help you more. The inner city people, right? They want to help you more. But now, Tashawn is not on here right now, and I don't know where Tashawn is at. But the same officer that set me up with 14 fake, phony charges, he explained to me that the way the new cadets are being taught is really not to help the people. It's to allow them to tear each other apart. And this is what he told me too. He said whenever his camera's on, it's a certain way he had to act. He said if they didn't do certain things, they would lose their jobs. So what I told him one day, I said, your camera off, right? I said, if we need to get some people together to create a law, right, where they won't be so restricted. And my thing is to help the people more. And I told that sucker that, man, him talk. And later he turned around and did what he did. And it's a lot of stuff with that. It's a lot of stuff with that. Right? Because when I was locked up, they raided my niece's house. I was staying with my niece. That's not in the police report. My one of my nieces just came up on TikTok. They raided my niece's house. Talking about they was looking for Gucci glasses. I don't know what the hell Gucci glasses is. Checkbooks and something else. And my niece said, Uncle Steve, they tore all your stuff up. I'm talking about my office work, my paperwork. That detective set that shit up. That detective set that up. And I told my lawyer about that. It was something else that wasn't reported in that. One of the clients in my house was found unalive. And he looked like me. That wasn't reported either. And I told my lawyer, I said, let me tell you this thing is bigger than what you realize. Those officers I reported to their commander, Thatcher. And I talked with the chief. The reason why I'm sharing this because Isabel Cumming know what I went through. The reason why I'm sharing this because Mackenzie Frost know what I went through. My director at Communities United did not know that I had got locked up March the 12th. She asked me to go down to the budget meeting that Brandon Scott was having March the 11th of 2023. And I told Brandon Scott, I said, I need to talk with you about the Baltimore Eastern District Police Department, how they was coming for me. March the 12th, I was gone. They hid me. Right now, to this day, I haven't had a chance to talk with a judge to tell them who I am and what I do. Every time the date came up for me to go to court, they found an excuse not to take me. So the reason why I'm sharing this, now I understand how so many people can get locked up, right? I'm looking at this police officer, 14 freaking charges. How can you charge me with home invasion, burglary, and armed robbery on my own stuff? And my nephew, one of my nephews, well, I called him my nephew. You know what? You know what they did? Out of all of that, they should have dropped it. They should have let it go. They should have let it go. But because of the police report, now mind you, the police report didn't state I did anything, but I was found guilty by association. And when that prosecutor said what she said, Mr. Copeland, we know you didn't do this right. We know you didn't do that right, but you are guilty by association. And I like to joke like this, right? Because I looked over at her ass and I wanted to tell her so bad. So is your fucking boss. I helped him twice in his when he was running for state's attorney. So is your damn boss because he know me. So is Brandon Scott because he know me. But I shut my damn mouth. I ain't say nothing. But I wanted to tell her so bad. So is your mother. If you want to do that one. But I shut my mouth. And I realized how they can throw shit at you. Shit you ain't do. And the worst part about it, y'all know I'm going to come on my live and talk about it. Y'all bunch of crazy mother, bleaky, blacky, mother, whatevers. Y'all know I'm going to talk about it. And I'm trying not to call your names. Because I reached out to other police to find out what the hell is going on with the Eastern District Police Department. I thought a lot of them was Elon Musk's damn robots. I thought they was from another planet. But it was the way they was taught because they was new cadets. How you gonna come up against a person that's a community activist, a human rights advocate? Y'all get paid. Y'all get paid. And this is what I was telling them. Y'all get paid to come into the communities to protect and serve. I don't get paid, but I'm in the community. But they kept coming against me. Like I was the problem. You know what was the problem? Mama. Because I started seeing some shit I ain't like. Y'all got a job to do. Do your job. So because of what happened to me, I don't like talking to the police no more. I don't. Because I learned too. They was taught a certain way. And Wayman nephew, the last time they came out, I had a board meeting. I was having an issue with this guy coming for me. That was the second time. This guy was like this with me. And I told the police after my board meeting. But guess what? By the time he went to check him, you know he ain't had nothing on him. Look at what I'm doing. So I'm talking to the officer and I'm telling the officer who I am, what I do about my program and all that. He wasn't even paying a fucking attention. I said, do you know anything about like transitional housing? He said, no. I said, oh shit. I knew I was fucked. I knew I was screwed. Because what he was doing, now, he wasn't trying to hear about, the good things and all that. He was like, well, what law did you break? What damn law I broke? I just came out of my board meeting with my people. This person and his girl came back about some money. Once again. But this time, this thug type sucker, right? Now, this is my first time sharing it with y'all. But that was one of the reasons why I kind of hesitated to go back to that building. Because he reached back like this on me. I was like, shit. And then he tried to run everybody from the board meeting out. But the police wasn't listening to shit. No, I want to know what you did. I said, Steve, shut up. And I told the police, I said, you go talk to them. Because he wasn't trying to listen. And that's not the first time. I get it all the time. So my thing is, if you ain't listening to me, go talk to my board members. We just came out of a meeting. Go tell them. Go talk with them so you can get the answers that you need. Now, y'all see the way I talk? See, I got to learn to be more humble. Excuse me, sir, what you want? No, I didn't do anything. Because this the way they understand. Oh, my name is Steve Copeland, and this is my housing program. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I prayed to go there. I can't go there and talk like that. I'm like, Steve, shut up. I'm telling y'all. Because it's like they be in their own freaking world. And no matter how you read up, now I love people that know the ins and outs of the law, certain things they can do, they can't do. Because I want to learn a lot of that too. So when you come to me, I want to tell you like this, I'm talking about the police officers, right? Man, go sit your butt down somewhere. Well, Mr. Copeland, you don't want to talk to me? Nope, I don't want to talk to you because you don't listen. You trying to listen to find out what did Mr. Copeland do? Mr. Copeland ain't do shit. Mr. Copeland got 3 years on parole and probation. I don't even want to talk to your ass because I don't want to mess up my parole and probation. I only want to call 911 because if I call 911, y'all might get mad because I called 911. And y'all know every time I call 911, like if I'm dealing with a client or some type of situation like that, they be like, well, there's nothing we can do. I said, I know. It's just the point of you showing up. Sometimes when you show up and you have clients, right, that say like in a zone, in their zone, right, they haven't taken their medication. The moment the police come there, calm down. They will. And I tell them, I say, I just need you to come. Because when I say certain things to you, if I cannot get you out that space, because I have to challenge you. And if I see you're not bringing it down, or it might turn into something tragic, you get me? Then I'll do 911. And I'll tell, because it tells me to do that. It tells me on their page, if I'm having an issue with one of the clients, and they're mostly, dealing with mental issues, to call 911. And I'm going to show you how a lot of them don't know every damn thing. When I call 911 and I have a client that's not on his meds or they're not taking their meds, they supposed to take them to the hospital. They supposed to take them. They'll turn around and ask them, do you feel like you want to unalive yourself with other people? Blah, blah, blah. Now, you know they're going to act normal as possible now. They know that. They know it. So you know what I have to do? Now, I got to go downtown and do an emergency petition. So I'm doing their job. They supposed to actually take them. So once I go to do the emergency petition, it goes back to the station. Then they come and get them and take them. I did it 3 times to one client. Twice, the judge told me. She said, Mr. Copeland, you're not supposed to be here. I said, I know. The second time, she said it again. I said, I know. Now I have a friend that reached out to me, and she said that anytime I need emergency petition for one of my clients to go to Johns Hopkins, because you have to admit them, right? For them to observe them and mainly get them back on their meds. She said, I can do it for you now because she's authorized in that area. So any clients that has like bipolar, schizophrenic, all that, and I'm gonna tell y'all, for TikTok purpose, I have to watch certain things, right? For TikTok purpose. When I say certain things, because it can be offensive, towards somebody. That's why TikTok will restrict you for certain things. But and I had to send them a message to let them know. Certain things I talk about is to encourage and to motivate and empower our people. I'm tired of y'all coming for me because they will restrict certain things. And it's not my goal to come on here and bash and hurt nobody. That's not my purpose. So I sent them a message earlier today about a lot about me putting my little lives up, putting my little stuff up. When I put stuff up, it's basically to encourage and motivate people. You don't know what people might be going through. And this is their way of getting that therapy or just, hearing somebody that might, he's sharing certain things where they can use to help come up out of stuff just for the moment, right? But I still suggest whatever I say, if it's encouraging and it's motivating, seek professional help. You might not like when it comes to the medication part. You might not like what they give you in that sense. If certain medications is not helping you, you tell them. You tell that psychiatrist. This is not, I'm still dealing with a lot of trauma. It's coming too strong because they do have stuff. And I'm not talking about stuff to knock you out and put you down. They do have stuff that medicine wise that will balance you like this. But keep in mind too, if they don't have a program for you, whoever you're dealing with, they need to help you with like ways and means for you not to dwell too much on whatever. Say like your past, you dealing with the past, right? Trauma, because it's always trauma. And it doesn't have to be great, anywhere along that line. It just could be mental, emotional, verbally, And like I said, I have to watch what I'm saying for TikTok because I don't want them to restrict this because I want to make little videos. But look, basically, your therapist or your psychiatrist, they need to help you, give you I was gonna say a program, right? Write something down for you so that whenever you're focusing on something negative, you don't ask for the negative stuff. You didn't ask for your past to come in today, and now you dwelling on that or certain situations that you're trying to let go, but it's coming hard. and the here and now. So now what you got to do with that, you got to focus, you got to learn to focus on something positive. See, that negative is there, you know, that's causing you pain and misery. So now you got to work, they got to give you a working program where you can focus, even if it's just talking to you, where you can focus and get out of that mindset just for right now. And to Sean, I hope you don't mind me sharing this because I know you're not right there right now. She sent me a message and said she feel real depressed, right? Stuff like that. So when she sent the message, I sent her something back. And I sent her something back and she started laughing, right? And once she called me Big Head, I knew she was okay. But see now, she was focusing on her husband that passed. And it was weighing her down. So now I came in with something stupid, you know what I mean? And she couldn't do nothing but laugh. But it took her out of that space for that moment. And she sent me something that said, I feel better now. That's why sometimes whenever you feeling something, you need to like get out of that zone. Get out. Because now, I'm just saying this because we don't ask. Maybe some of y'all do. I'm just saying. I want to feel miserable today. I I just want to feel like crap. No. It's not like you ask for certain things. And when issues, unresolved issues, tend to come, yes, it can weigh you down. It's like how you want to deal with it when it comes. So I'm just saying, because of certain, you know, out through the years, because of the people that I sponsored and dealt with, I had to have them focus on something positive. Mainly, if you, I was in an abusive marriage, right? And I'm 6'1". And by the time that person finished with me, I was like 5'1". So y'all can imagine the work it took for me to build myself back up. But I had to separate myself. I had to get away from that, right? And I'm saying this for anybody that's in a verbal, mentally, emotionally, verbally abusive relationship. I will not tell you this. Oh, you just need to go. You know, because guess what? I knew how hard it was to step away. Mainly when you really love and care for that person. The only thing you want is for that person to act right for you. You know what I mean? And when you realize they are who they are, and it's no more you can do, and you deserve better. And I had to start believing that within me, because it took a while for me to get away and stay away. So I know how hard it is when you really love and care for somebody. So I'll talk with you. I'll talk with you. And I've done that with a lot of people, encouraging them and motivating them. And sometimes they might get away for a week or two and come back and go through the same things again and get away for like a month. They might come back. They might not add to that, right? I'm just saying, because by the time they get away for a month, they be like, shit, I ain't going back there. But I know the work. That's all I'm saying. I know the work that it takes. And that's why certain people, I might tell them, call me. Because I don't, if you in a horrible situation where you're afraid, you know, mainly for your, I had, and I told her, call me back, let me know how everything worked out. I had a female reach out to me and saying she was in an abusive, you know, marriage or relationship. And she asked me, could I help her? So I sent her the what's name, right? Now, I'm gonna say Coco, because Coco has a lot of problems. right? A lot of properties. Okay. And I'm just saying the name because she has a lot of properties. And I don't know. And whoever she's running from don't know. So I told her to reach out to Coco. And I told her to make sure she called me back to let me know how that worked out. And when I do that, I said, call me back, Queen, and let me know how everything worked out. Because if she didn't get the help there, I would send her somewhere else. You get me? That's what I did. So I'm glad. And I'm going to just say, Coco, Kevin, these are people they have rental properties and they rent out space. And see, what I would do, excuse me, um, personally, knowing that she's in one of the houses, I'll go and meet her myself, right? It's just right now, y'all know they don't want me to go but so far with this cash going. So I will like let her know I'm here. If she needs counseling, we will get her the counseling. All depends on how old the children is. We'll make sure we get them the counseling if they have to, because when you've been in certain situations, you do need that professional services. So that's why I'm so glad that I have some people now that's willing to work with me with the clients. You know, I'm not by myself, but I do want my own building. I want my own building. If I have to, like, with Frederick Douglass, I got to go there. That is huge. And they have a spot there that I can use for my temporary housing program. All of it right there. My programs, everything I want right there, right there, right there, right there. Offices right there, right there, right there. Everything I want right there, right there, right. And what it did, it cuts us off from we're temporary. So the area I'm in, we won't be mingling with the ones that's permanent. So that's why I love it, because it sets us apart. You get me? Now, once you're in the program, you doing all the necessary things, and you ready to graduate from the program to get into something permanent, you have an option, the opportunity to get an apartment there. Or if you don't like that apartment, then complex, the goal is to get you somewhere else. Because now you're ready to, do your permanent thing. Not just that. If you want a house, because some people want apartments, some people want rental property. And if you say, Mr. Steve, I want to sign up for the home buyers program, you got that option. Because that's the goal, to start rehabbing and revitalizing houses as well. So I had people that I'm talking to with that. They already doing it. So now for my clients, by them being in my program, they have the first option when I start doing it to purchase a home. If not, they're ready and I'm not ready. They can buy one of their homes. That's how we doing it. So it's not an issue. And this is what the Latanya D. Copeland housing program is all about. Tell Trump, okay, whoever know Trump, tell Trump I need some money. I'm talking about he's a billionaire. So I need Papa. Because somebody said one day, said Donald Trump, my father, right? Tell Papa I need him to send some money so that we can create these things for the inner city black communities. So we can create these things for the homeless and the less fortunate people that he talked about. Papa, send some money my way. Because guess what? I got people. We working together even with DC. So tell Papa I need some money. Now I'm talking about the billionaire, not the president. What's up, OG? Yeah, tell Papa I need some money. Yeah, because you have a lot of people that's like homeless and less fortunate. Some of them get like SSI, some of them get SSDI, some of them might get TCA. So they have cards. So they're able to, use their cards for whatever they need. Because my program is independent, you have to pay your way. And that's to help you, better your life. Now, keep in mind, family, if you have somebody, thank you, OG. If you have somebody that just get SSI and SSDI, we know they don't get a lot. So those the ones, and I said, and I'm gonna say it again, those the ones that I have to work to get into like senior citizens buildings. Because 9 times out of 10, even if they veterans, you know what I mean, you getting them into a place. Now I can only go off of my sister. When my sister was in a senior citizen place, she only paid like 2 something a month, almost 3, and that include gas and electric and everything. So now she was only left with like 600 and something. So now you have to learn to budget your stuff throughout that month. But now that's when it comes to the ones that get SSI, because they only get 940 something a month. It might have changed, but as far as I know, it's 940 something here in Baltimore City. Now, the ones that get SSDI, they might get a little bit more, right? Now, I know they can't afford nothing for no 900, 1,000. So those are the ones when you come into the housing program that when I see that you're ready to move forward to get you into a senior citizen's place, that's what I do. And it's a lot of senior citizen spots in Baltimore City that gets funding from housing, Section 8s, and low incomes and all that type of stuff. Now, that's what I love about Mr. Stern. This is the Jewish guy that owns 908 and other properties. He's the permanent side of what I do. I'm temporary. I needed him to help them get into something permanent. So now he told me that because he has a contract with housing. So Section 8, low income, and in some cases, all depends on your medical condition, they'll pay for your rent. Right? And he made me feel real good when me and him was talking about that. Him working with me, with the people and everything. So anyway, I sent a few people down there to him, to their rental office. And yeah, I'm talking about y'all. And they wanted to charge them regular. That's not what we talked about, bro. So I called him. One lady, her stuff was like $1,300 for maybe 3 bedrooms, I think. Gas and electric included. First month's rent, security. They charged her double. So I called them. I said, why would you charge her double security? Because I was telling them some of them, their backgrounds are not real, So I know they running the risk with them. I understand. But you understood what me and you talked about. And then he gonna turn around and tell me I'm a check, but I'm business. And hung up. Well, you can check. And I'm business too. And that wasn't the first time. I thought you was gonna get him in for me. Like with Section 8 low income. Because from what I understand, you know, you contracted with them. So what I am gonna do, I am gonna check with somebody else that do that. Because my thing is, what was the reason or why they didn't qualify, right, for like the Section 8 or the low income? And this was a family. And I have a list of people that came in for like just for that month. And the goal was to have them out by next month. But now your money have to be in order. Excuse me, y'all. So when you go down to apply for a rental place, now that's out of my hand. So whatever they need, you got to make sure you're prepared. So now what I have to do with my clients, now I have to make sure their pay stubs is straight, and I need to see it with my own two eyes. And they can afford whatever, but I want them to be able to get in. If a place is like 1,500, and I'm trying to think, was that his 4 bedrooms, right? But if a place is about 1,500, and if that person can afford it, that's fine. Because someone will tell me, Mr. Steve, I can afford this, I can afford that. It's just my background check. You know what I mean? So I got you there. I got you there. I got you there. I just don't want you double it up on them. Because some people can come with that 3,000, but not the 45. Now, if you're willing to have a program to work with them to break down that other one, that's what I want you to do too. So y'all hear the way I'm talking, right? And this is how I would talk with a realtor, just because I to work with the people. Y'all got property, you got empty property, you losing money off that property. Oh, I know. And you need people in there. And the good part with me and Mr. Stern, once you come into the housing program, you have to sign up for the mental health program. So the goal was to teach you too how to maintain that property and make sure you pay your bill on time. Those are the two things the realtors want. For you to take care of their property and pay your bill on time every month. And this was me and Mr. Stern, we was like, yeah, because I know what a lot of realtors want in that sense. Because a lot of times they let people in and people tear up their stuff. And then they don't pay their stuff on time. So once they evict them, right? Once they evict them and they go back in there, they got bugs and it's nasty. My friend Sam showed a picture of that. And then he showed a picture of a pastor had one of his spots. And when they left out, man, they tore this man's stuff up. And he put the pastor on blast and people start coming at him. No, you don't disrespect nobody else's stuff like that. Believe me, when I had to move years and years and years ago, because I was getting ready to get evicted, I was gone that night before. That night before, I made sure everything was nice, neat, and clean, and I left. Some people want to stay and wait for you to come and toss them out. No, if you know that you have not, in my case, I fell on hard times too. I had lost a job, certain things happened, and I fell on hard time. But what I'm trying to say is, I knew that it was coming to that. You get me? So rather than me allowing them to just come, and put me out. I went on and packed all my stuff up that night before, and I was gone. I put it on the box truck, and I was gone. I don't even remember what year that was. I'm trying to think. I don't even know what year it was. But the thing was, if you know you hit a rough road, and I know people hold on to stuff, but you got to understand this. This got 3% on it, so I know this get ready to click off. Just gonna click off. Um, I wonder if I put it on here, will it click off real fast? But this is get ready to click off for me. I see it now. So if it click off and I can't bring y'all back on, I love y'all and I thank y'all for supporting me. And pray for me, y'all. God got some amazing things lined up. I'm telling y'all. And I'm just trying to be so patient. I am. Because every time I look at it, OG, from the 2 houses to the building, and I know something went poof, but I know he got bigger and better stuff coming. I know it. But it's just, I don't know what it is. But because of a lot of the stuff that's happening, and even with my feet, that probably was a way of him shutting me down too. Just sitting me still. You know what I mean? And I go through my head, did anybody put a spell on me and blah, 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 blah. But now, when you, yeah, this at 2%, it's going to click right off. But when you serving and what I feel is not right, he's doing what he's doing. And I just have to be patient, y'all. I have to go through what I got to go through. Thank you, Dante. Thank you, Norman. Thank you to Sean, because that's my team. That's my team. Thank you, Pastor Priscilla. And that's my team, y'all. So wherever we move at, I need to make sure we have space for all of them as well. Because Dante, he teaches. He's a tutorer, and he can certify you as far as get you your GED or high school diploma. He does all that. He do all that. And he became a part of my team. So we got some amazing people, y'all. I'm telling you, I have an amazing team that's walking with me while I'm going through what I'm going through, steady, encouraging me and motivating me and all of that, you know. And I'm just, you know, I want what I want in a sense, like right now, but I know God is preparing me for the bigger and better things. It's 1% now. So it is going to click off. And I love y'all. And I'm going to end this right here, okay? Love y'all and thank y'all for supporting me.